Um, this is going to be the build of the new farm for the Saving Uncle's Farm series. Like I said in a couple of the previous videos of, I believe, the last mod review video I did and um, um, the 90s series, I said we're going to advance the farm forward a few years, and we'd hop back in as the new farmland and everything. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna time lapse. We're gonna build the new farm, and that's what this video is gonna be. It might be about 15 minutes long or so, but yeah. Hope you enjoy the video, guys. Alright guys, well, there is the farm build. It's not the prettiest thing on the planet. Oh, you know what? Here, I got one more thing I was gonna do and I forgot. Where is it? White picket fence. Let's just turn around and make sure it's straight. And right there. I don't know why I really like white picket fence, so. I'm gonna put some like from this tree to here, here across, and this tree to here. Looks alright. Actually, we need to put up a fence across the back here. Let's just do a simple fence across here. Let's do red metal fence. There we go. Alright. Let's take a little tour here, just real quick. I mean, I already know you guys seen it from building it, but our grain bin setup here. We've got a lot of storage here. We have 1.2 million liters worth of capacity. And then over here we got a couple extra bins. We got an old set of bins. We've got the Meridian Quonset, which we'll probably just shove random stuff into. Every farm has its shed that's full of junk, so that'll be the shed that's just full of junk. This shed here, this is a spray shed. So we can get a sprayer, we can put all our chemicals in here. We can even throw our seed in here too. Herbicide, fertilizer, and then seed, obviously, we can put in there too. Now, I don't know what's up with this shed. I'm sure you guys seen it in the build part, but when you go through this door, it pushes you into the office, and when you try to exit out of this door, oh. Okay, well, that time I was able to exit out of this door. Yeah, you can't, this door is a little glitchy. There we go. I think I got it closed. Alright. But yeah, this is gonna be our main machine shed. We got plenty of wall storage over here, skid steer, attachments, seed. We won't store fertilizer in here. Well, we could store like solid fertilizer, but we won't store the liquid stuff in here. I believe the combine should fit in here. And I believe bathroom. Long day being out in the fields and come in here, take a bath and wash up. What's on the computer? What are we looking at on the computer? It's like a farming simulator web page, Facebook page. Go ahead and we'll close that up. Then we'll come on over to this shop. This could be like our cold storage. It's obviously heated, but this could be our cold storage shed. Yeah, and it's got a workshop inside of it too. So yeah, guys, this is the new farm. Like I said, the old farm will stay over there. Oh, let's just jump over here. This farm will be staying here. We're gonna keep the land up here. We're just going to move down to the other spot. It's a little less tight than this farm. This farm is quite tight. So we're moving down there mainly to gain room. Like I said, this is all like a advancing time in the snap of a finger style thing. Obviously, with advancing time, the farm is out of debt. The farm is no longer in debt. So, um, is there any crop? Is there crop in there? No, there's not. Okay. So, yeah, guys. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next episode of Saving Uncle's Farm. We'll see you later.